We are talking about motherhood trends and social media. A lot of judgment going on, a lot of criticism going on. I just feel like we live in this time where everyone wants to take on every single trend or fad that comes our way.
I don't need to blame somebody else for how they make me feel. I get to choose. I'm gonna take that power back and say, I can actually snap it out.
It's important to talk about this whole romanticizing topic.
Yeah.
Social media is like such a big part of the world now. It's not going anywhere. So how can we learn to deal with it in a more healthy way?
You know, I feel like these trad moms set up this standard that I can't follow. If you're not following their content, you won't know the standard they're setting up.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special guest with me, but before I introduce her, I want to share that today's video is going to be kind of a continuation of what I talked about in my vlog last week. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. I talked a lot about sourdough and stuff, and also had a video a couple months ago that was called 10 Trends I'm Skipping in 2024 as a Mom. So this video is really a continuation of some of the thoughts that I shared in those videos, but I want to go a lot more in depth with some of those topics. There's also a lot of videos circulating right now that are a little bit hateful, a lot of bashing going on. This video is not going to be bashful.
No, we're not going to be bashful, and we're not going to bash.
Yeah, no bashing as well. We are talking about motherhood trends and social media. And now you can speak. Who are you and what do you do?
Who are you and why are you in my living room?
But this is Amanda.
I'm Amanda. I am Nicole's older sister. I'm 2 years older than Nicole. I've known her for her entire life, so basically I know everything about Nicole. Everything. I have 3 kids. I've been married for 13 years. I've had small snippets in the sister tag video and then the arm wrestling challenge.
Oh my gosh. We're trying to forget that the arm wrestling challenge, I think I took those videos down.
Yeah.
Please don't comment for us to do another challenge.
Nicole and I, going through motherhood together, have had a lot more conversations about whether social media or trends or things that moms are going through. And I feel like we've had some really great conversation lately. And so she's like, you know what, why don't we talk about this together in a video? I thought that is an awesome idea. You are so brilliant.
Wow. Thank you. It's true. I think about this stuff a lot. I probably think about it more than most regular moms because I work online. So I'm bombarded by this stuff all the time.
I think also you just being careful not to add to the voices, you know, to really be mindful that people are going to consume your content, and you don't want to be the voice that's making moms feel like you need to be this, this, and this in order to be a good mom or a good wife.
Right.
But being relatable. And so I think you think about it because you want to make sure you are not doing that to other people.
Yeah. In fact, it sometimes scares me that I might be doing that. And so that's kind of why I've taken a step back posting as much as I used to, because I'm like so nervous to be a part of that noise, and I'm like treading carefully to figure out how do I continue to share my motherhood journey without potentially making certain people feel bad or compare themselves to me, because I struggle with those very things when I watch other influencers.
Yeah. You're straddling the line of being not only a good consumer of what's out there, but also being a good producer of what's out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's really nice. Okay, I've got a lot of notes. Also, if you guys want to see more of Amanda in my videos, let us know.
Or if you don't.
If you don't, that's fine.
I wouldn't be offended.
If you guys want to see more chats, let us know. We're also trying to think of maybe like a potential title for this series. Maybe sister chats.
Let us know what your ideas are.
Sister wives. Because we're sisters and we're wives. All right, let's jump in. So my last video, I talked about sourdough, okay?
A lot.
Too much. Honestly, I had to edit that down.
Guys, there were like 13 minutes of a voiceover of her just talking about sourdough. I'm like, it looks like you might have to go to therapy for sourdough.
No, but I have a very complicated relationship with sourdough.
But there's a deeper meaning there.
My motherhood journey started at the same time as my content creator journey. My channel literally took off at the exact same time I was learning to become a mom. The reason I say that is because a lot of the other, specifically Christian mom influencers I was watching and kind of learning from, like how to be a content creator, I was heavily influenced by them. I admit it.
Confession.
I was influenced by a lot of trends going on in recent years, probably like the last 2 years. I've like released a lot of that and I don't struggle with that as much, but with like the recent trends of trad wives and like
Cottage-core.
Cottage-core. It's been very much in my face because the niche that I'm a part of have very much gone down that route, which there's nothing wrong with that. I really reached a point where I just had to think through like, am I gonna join this? Because naturally in past years, I was joining in on a lot of the trends going on. I live in the suburbs. I am not, raising farm animals right now.
At the time you were living in the city.
That too, yeah, it just wasn't realistic to my life, and I was like, I'm not gonna fabricate it.
Like romanticize your apartment, your condo life.
Yeah, I could have made, I guess,
a farm on your balcony.
Farm on my balcony.
I think it's always coming back to like, why are you doing it? Is it because it actually is the thing you like to do and because it's you, or is it like because everybody else is doing it? Like right now we're talking about surface level. This is where it starts. It's these like little small things that build up to a bigger whole of what your online social media experience is like, whether it's sourdough or dressing a certain way or having a certain aesthetic. Like it all goes deeper, so much deeper than that.
Right. Now I did actually want to learn how to make bread. I almost felt like this pressure, like I have to learn how to make it because everybody else is, but the reality is like I wasn't in a season at all to do it. I was still postpartum, 2 other kids. I felt like I had no grip on life and I was just like still in the chaos. And I'm like, I can't do this right now, like just because everyone else is doing it. But I did want to do it. I genuinely wanted to learn. Now I feel like I'm in a way better season where I'm able to handle it. So that's kind of what I shared in the last video and led to all like this deeper conversation that we want to have today. Trends or fads are not necessarily a bad thing. I just feel like we live in this time where everyone wants to take on every single trend or fad that comes our way. Whoever can take it on the fastest is like the winner. Everyone else is falling behind.
What do you win? Absolutely nothing.
You win nothing. You lose money actually. But like this has always been around. It's just been different before.
Yeah. We were talking before about like, I remember very vividly how my mom back in 2000s like got in this make your own bread from scratch. Like she was milling her own like oats or whatever. But I'm pretty sure her like sisters got on this health kick. These trends, they come and go. They were at their peak, 20 something years ago, and here they are back again. The difference is that now we have social media to show us those trends instead of like our sisters or our friends or our neighbors. So it's not that it's like, this is nothing new. We're just experiencing it in a different way.
Yeah, I think overall social media mom culture has gotten pretty negative. There's just like a real lack of cheering on other moms, a lot of judgment going on, a lot of criticism going on, a lot of like indirect things being said on social media. Like maybe they're not necessarily saying you need to be a stay-at-home mom, but they're posting it and wording it in a way that probably would hurt someone who's a working mom or make them feel bad about it. But we don't know everyone's unique individual situation. Some moms are single moms, they have to work. Some moms enjoy working. My friend Olympia always says, you can be in a completely different lane and doing your thing, but cheering on a mom that's like over there, like, go mom, you're doing great.
Yeah.
I do think though that it's important to talk about this whole romanticizing topic.
Yeah.
Is it really wrong as a mom, which is such a difficult job every day? I mean, some of us are struggling to even get up, like wake up and get out of bed and start taking care of your children. Like I've been in that place. I feel like what's happening is a lot of moms are romanticizing motherhood, and and that's where like this trad wife thing comes in the videos, and they're putting on dresses and they're serving their husbands, and it's just all very like flowers from the garden and stuff like that. It can bother some of us to see that.
Just close your eyes.
But it's like, yeah, why does it bother you to see that? I feel like that's the question you need to ask yourself. Is it wrong to romanticize those little things when we're struggling with the day-to-day, and maybe that is your bit of joy in the mundane day that you're having as a mom? Is that so bad? It could be so much worse.
It's not good or bad. People don't ever see the behind the scenes of maybe a season where you couldn't even do that. But you don't know the things that have maybe happened to a person where they couldn't even get out of bed. So rather than trying to find fault with people, try to find that like, you're either happy that they're happy, or if you really can't handle their happiness or the romanticizing of their life, that's okay. You don't have to follow that. You don't have to leave a snarky comment. Like you could just
That's the part I don't even get. It's your responsibility. It's my responsibility to do that, because those people aren't going to stop posting. They have a right to post. It's their page.
Exactly. Right. We're so quick to say how somebody else makes us feel. I feel like these trad moms set up this standard that I can't follow. If you're not following their content, you won't know the standard they're setting up. You can take responsibility to say, I'm not going to be able to change what they put out there. I'm just going to stop looking at it. I'm going to find the people who are more in alignment with where I'm at in my life, and maybe even a short step ahead of you so that you feel challenged to grow a little bit, because it is healthy to grow and to challenge yourselves.
This is so individual to each person. There's certain content Amanda loves that like I don't want to be following.
I've been like sending her pages.
She sent me these beautiful pages today, like gorgeous footage. And I like that once in a while, don't get me wrong, but it isn't something that I didn't feel the need to like follow him and like see that all the time, because to me it just feels like it's not reality at all. And I'm like, that's beautiful, but like I'll never have that.
I love seeing what humans are capable of and the way that they can like manipulate the ground or wood or make something. And it's that draws me in. You know, Nicole will see it and she'll see something else in it. So it's a matter of like, what are we viewing? How is it speaking to us? Is it leaving us inspired and thinking like, oh, I can kind of find ways to get there? Or is it like, I'm never gonna achieve that. I feel terrible when I see that. And it's just this constant like longing, yearning, coveting, and it leaves you unsatisfied.
I like following some accounts that are just like really relatable to the phase of life I'm in. Like I follow this girl called Chan with 3 boys, and she has like 3 kids and it's chaos all the time. And she talks about how to get out of the house with her kids every day. So that's challenging. That challenges me actually to not be home as much.
It's just like, I like that idea of like one step ahead. Like where do you want to be without making you feel guilty? It's a combination of like inspiration without jealousy.
Yeah. There's another one that I sent to Amanda that's called like Steph's Small Spaces, and she shows her small, very realistic, normal home. A lot of her content is about how she's worked on being more content with her current life instead of wishing she had like the big houses, the big spaces that we see online all the time. And I like love that concept so much, because God knows how much time we are spending with wishful thinking, which is going back to like the account you sent me. It's beautiful, the mountains of Italy, but it's like, wow, I wish I can have that. But I don't really want to spend my time wishing I can have something. I just want to like be more content with what I have.
But I will go into my accounts and I will start to like see what's popping up on my reels. And if I start to see too many houses that I'm like longing for, and find my heart discontent that it's taking me too long to renovate my house, and like that feels like a project that's never gonna happen, I'll start to unfollow, because I'm like, it's making me ungrateful for the season that I'm at. Or if it's women that I find are in a season of life I'm not in. Like for instance, I had a friend who put out a homeschool account, is putting out some awesome content, and like I at the time had to shut the door on homeschooling, and it was actually kind of hard for me to see her content. It was painful for me to not be able to homeschool my kids anymore. So I was like, you know what, I love you, I love what you're putting out there, but I need to mute it right now, because it was actually just making me hurt. So it wasn't for me, and it wasn't forever, because you know I might eventually homeschool and I would love to be able to see your stuff. You have to know yourself, and you have to know what is actually leaving you built up and feeling positive, and also putting you in a place of contentment and gratitude. It has less to do with what they're putting out there, and it has a lot more to do with who I am.
Exactly.
Because I don't need to blame somebody else for how they make me feel. I get to choose. I'm going to take that power back and say, I can actually snap it out. I can actually take that power back and say, you don't have control over how you make me feel. I'm gonna pause you, mute you, unfollow you. I can turn away from that. I don't have to keep exposing myself to that.
Yeah, and I think also social media breaks is obviously very healthy. I know a lot of people personally who incorporate it and will do a break like every couple of months. But then I also know some people who have left and never came back, and it's like the best thing they ever did. They're doing so much better, you know, mentally. There's kind of like a reel going around right now that's called
Oh yeah,
have you seen it? And like people are just sharing like,
well, it's consumer, what is it?
Consumer under consumption core. Yeah, I love that. I love that that's like becoming a thing, and they're sharing, you know, what they don't have much of. But that goes into this like conscious consumerism of who you're following, what you are taking in on a daily basis on social media. This is not going to go away. Social media is like such a big part of the world now. It's not going anywhere. So how can we learn to deal with it in a more healthy way as moms specifically? Because I feel like motherhood can be a very vulnerable state that we're in, and impressionable.
Yeah. A lot of times those people, whether it's coming through ads or whatever, it's these businesses, they know that about us. They actually know that we are especially vulnerable because we're just trying to like do our best as moms and serve our families and our children and take care of ourselves. And so sometimes they prey on that. And other times they don't mean to do it. It's unintentional with an influencer. But that's why it really is put on us. Nobody's coming to take care of you and turn your phone off or mute those channels or tell you who you should and shouldn't watch. At the end of the day, it's going to have to be you. Whether you're finding like-minded influencers or like finding trends that speak to you, right? Because when that whole 1,000 hours, which is like spend 1,000 hours outside with your kids and log
I think it's 10,000.
10,000.
Or is it 1,000? No, it's 10. Sorry, that was what I got wrong in my video, and everyone came for me in the comments. It's not 10,000 hours.
That's
if it was
impossible.
10,000 hours, it would be 500 hours a week. And I was like, I'm sorry.
I'm like, it's even worse than I thought. When that first came out, I honestly wrestled with myself because I kind of consider myself outdoorsy. I love my kids to be outside, and there was a part of me that at first was like, I should do this. Like, am I really outdoorsy?
Everyone's doing it.
Everyone's
doing
doing
it. Post of January.
And I like had a friend who was doing it, and I really love and appreciate and respect this friend. So I was like, oh, I should do it with her. After like 1 week thinking through it hard, I was like, this is not for me. And here's why. I become very rigid when I have anything like this placed on me. I'm like committing to 1,000 hours and we're gonna do it no matter what. And it's not even fun anymore. We're like outside. I'm like, we're just gonna be outside.
I was forcing my kids to like take a walk while they're sick.
Yeah.
And like everyone's miserable.
Large.
Why am I doing this anymore?
Yeah, you have to know yourself.
It goes back to knowing
yourself. If you know that your temperament is wired to like over obsess, over commit, over structure, and it actually doesn't build life into you, it kind of is just like it drains it out of you, don't do it. So glad I didn't do it because I organically spent a lot of time outside and nobody was sad about it. It's not even to say it's a bad thing. It's just it's a good thing for the mom who can do it well. I think it's a great
challenge.
It's a bad thing for the mom who can't do it well. Like now that I know myself more as a mom and I'm very comfortable with where I'm at as a mom, I'm 8 years in. I know what to say no to and what to say yes to. And I think for new moms, I would just encourage you, slow down a little bit. Don't be so quick to jump into everything you hear about or whatever your friends are doing. Take some time, maybe a week, to think like, is this actually stressing me out? Is it going to be a blessing? And then pursue it. But don't be so quick to do every single thing, whether it's a class or an activity or anything, school, curriculum, anything. Always be mindful that just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean it's for you.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's different. Why are we thinking so much like I need to be like them when you don't even know the dynamic?
Is for me. Like, why do we assume what's for you is for me?
Right.
And it's okay for me not to like, not to want what you're doing. And I'm not judging you for it. Like it's okay to just decipher what your family's needs are and to adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
Like, but everything needs to truly slow down and be more mindful, because I do think we always feel this pressure of like, the classes are going to be signed up for and there won't be any slots left and they won't be able to do this and this and this. And I felt that. I felt that with swimming class last year, and I was just like, what if I don't get my kids in?
Every time I go to the park, the parents in the neighborhood are like, so Jace should be going to preschool next year, right? Like, have you signed him up? When are you going to sign him up? Because they all know that I like stay home with the 3 kids and a lot of the moms in our neighborhood don't. And they're just like, oh, are you signing him up soon? I'm just like, we decided we're going to do another year of homeschool. And they're like, oh, okay. Or like, have you signed him up for any activities? They're like super concerned about his social life or something. And I'm like, he's fine. He's got like 10 cousins and we have a community at church. Like, I'm not worried about that at all, but it's just interesting. Sometimes I do feel that pressure get to me and I'm like, Richie, we need to sign them up for something. Like, and then I'm like, why am I thinking that? And when I really think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I had this conversation with this mom at the park today.
Yeah, it's so hard because you really have to get comfortable with who you are and what your needs are, and like really feel that conviction deep so you're not swayed.
Right.
It takes time and it takes practice. So
you're good
truly,
at that.
But it's 8 years, and I'm telling you, it wasn't always like this. And as you get older, you get more like settled. You settle into who you are, and it's easier to be like, yeah, not for me, and I'm okay with it.
Right. So we leave you with this question.
We're going back to the beginning.
Let's
go back to the beginning.
Let's go back to the beginning.
I actually just listened to this like a week ago.
And we leave you with this question. What is your sourdough? Your sourdough is the thing that you feel
that you think about all the time.
You think I need to do this. Everybody else is doing it. Let us know in the comments. Well, thank you, Amanda, for joining me today.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I had a great time.
Okay, guys. Love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.
See ya.